Thanks to the support as a channel member, Chris Graves. Remember last season when we couldn't score, but luckily we were really good at defending and we got promoted anyway? Well, this year, we can't defend, but we're really good at scoring. So, you know, fingers crossed. Hello and welcome to part 21 of Saving Man City. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Championship. We're away against Coventry and at home against Burnley. Since you were last with me, we've got through a few games. As you can see, we lost one. We lost against Southampton, which wasn't great. We also got knocked out of the Moose Cup in Portsmouth. Basically, that little trip to the South Coast in August, not as pleasant as you would imagine it would be. Couple of draws, and I was starting to panic a little bit, but then we've just exploded into goals. Smashing Stoke 4-3, smashing Bristol City, who, remember, were the team that dominated League One last year and were much better than us. We've beaten them 5-4. We are all of a sudden scoring lots of goals, which is only to be expected, bearing in mind the amount of attacking talent that we've got. But I am ever so slightly concerned that if we have a look at goals conceded, only bottom of the table Fleetwood have conceded more goals than we have. On the flip side of that, no one's come close to scoring as many goals as we have. And at the moment, it balances out and puts us in 5th place in the league. So that should be okay, I guess. And if we do stop scoring, don't worry, because Liam Delap has come home. Liam Delap came in on transfer deadline day. He finally agreed to rejoin us on loan because he faffed around and left it too long. A, he wasn't match fit when he arrived, and B, other players had already started scoring in his place. So rather than coming straight in as our number 9 and starting every game like he would have done if he'd have joined in July, like I tried to bring him in, he's a bench warmer. He will play today because he is getting back towards match fitness, but yeah, he's a silly goose who should have joined us earlier. We did also sign this guy on deadline day. Tom Edwards is a 26-year-old centre-back / right-back. We've brought him in to play right-back. He's previously of Millwall, Stoke, amongst others. We spent money on him. We did spend a little bit of money, another £250,000 purchase. We did a couple of those over the course of this summer. I don't mind spending a little bit here and there if it's for the right player. And I don't think we'd signed Riccardo Di Gasperi the last time you were with me either. He's a left-back who joins us on loan for the season from Sampdoria. We didn't let anybody else go. No more sales. I think you saw us sell Wright Phillips. And other than that, it was just a few players leaving on loan. So let's go and play Coventry. We're away from home against Coventry. We'd quite like to win this football match. We're going with Trafford in goal, a back four of Di Gasperi, Mbete, Katongo and Edwards, Shelvey at the base of the midfield, Forner and Hamilton ahead of him, Lambert on the left, Dixon on the right, and Liam Delap, his first start at the club in over a year, playing up front for us. Can he continue scoring at almost a goal a game like he has done throughout his Manchester City career so far? It's a higher level than he's ever played for us before. Apart from those couple of times he played in the Premier League, according to that career history thing. But you know what? We're not going to get bogged down in those kind of details. What we want is the Liam Delap of old. Lambert has been playing really well this season. Jones has been playing really well this season. Betancourt is injured, but obviously will be very good as well. The youngster from Arsenal, Ibrahim, has been very good as well. We've got a lot of very good attacking players, but there's no one quite like Liam Delap when he's at his best because he's one of our own, sort of. I know Man City signed him young, but, you know, it still counts. And we've conceded... Oh, we haven't conceded. We conceded a penalty, but Trafford making the save from the penalty spot, and it remains 0-0. When that, I'll level with you, when that penalty was won, I thought we'd won it because I thought we were the ones playing in sky blue. I forget that Coventry are knockoff Man City. Oh, the Coventry fans will love that. Well, if you don't want to be knockoff Man City, get above them in the league. And then City will be knockoff Coventry like they were in the 90s. But until then, it's just the way it is. Only one team can own one colour. I think that's how it works, probably. Still 0-0 then, 15 minutes in, and all eyes on Liam Delap, really. I want Liam Delap to work out. We've obviously got all these other strikers who, yeah, they're great. We've got all these great young players. We're scoring lots of goals, but what we all really want is Liam Delap to score 30 goals, fire us to the Premier League, and then him rejoin us permanently. That'd be perfect, but might not be quite how it works out. And we have conceded here, which we do a lot. As much as I'm enjoying Jonjo Shelvey at the base of the midfield for his ability to spray the ball around, find the right pass, and I think it is helping with us scoring as many goals as we are, having Shelvey in that position. I don't know that he's the right man to protect the back four against, you know, all of the goals that we keep conceding. So that might even be a case of swapping him and Forner around. I like Forner in there doing that as the big box-to-box midfielder, but I guess we could play him a little bit deeper, having his physicality protecting the back four, and then play Shelvey in the central midfield where he gets a little bit further forward so he can do things like that a bit more often. So that's an option. But at the moment, I mean, I'm just enjoying being that team that scores one more than the opposition. So I don't feel the need to change it. Everything is working at the moment. We're fifth in the league, which we weren't expecting to be anywhere near a promotion push this season. So I know it's early days and it's probably not going to be how things end up at the end of the season. But for now, we're just enjoying playing well and scoring lots of goals. So I don't want to fiddle with things too much just yet. As it stands, these dropped points, an away game in the Championship is never drop points, but these drop points at the moment are knocking us out of the playoff positions, which we're not even trying to get into. Mid-table would be a delightful achievement this year. And Bete plays it forward to Lambert, who's picked up a knock, so we're going to take him off in a moment. In fact, we'll probably leave him on till half-time. He's not a red injury, and he looks like he's doing okay. Dixon on the right-hand side beats his man. Can he find the cross? He does. Lambert is there, and Delap was lurking, but Liam Delap still not fully back up to speed just yet. Hopefully it doesn't take him too long, because he's not going to get too long. The amount of good attackers we've got in this squad now, and bearing in mind we've got 7 players at the club on loan and we're only allowed to use 5 of them in our matchday squad. If Delap doesn't get up to speed fast, he'll find himself not even on the bench. And Hamilton has just scored to put us 2-1 up. Micah Hamilton, he's out of contract at the end of the season. He's told me that he wants to, what's the word he used? Review his options in the summer. So he's not going to, we had that thing in the transfer video where we're not able to offer him a contract until February, to the end of the next transfer window, because we upset him. I'm hoping the fact he's looking to explore his options at the end of the season means he won't sign a contract with anyone else. That could be the ideal thing for us. Oh, Shelvey's nearly grabbed his second of the game now. A very, very good free kick from him. Comes back off, I think it came back off the post, and Delap not quite able to capitalise on the ball being free in the penalty area. Right, we are going to take off Lambert. We'll bring on Masaba, and that involves swapping Dixon over onto that side. Masaba has been brilliant, by the way. He's only rotating out of the team today just to give Dixon game time. Dixon needs, I mean, he's one of the few players we've got here who's actually permanently with us. So we need to keep trying to develop Dixon whilst playing the likes of Lambert and Delap and whoever else to try and win us the football matches. It's a complicated balancing act we've got in this front three now, where the players that we've got here permanently, apart from Masaba probably, are not good enough. But they could be. They've got potential. And we don't want to be relying on loans forever, because if and when we get to the Premier League, we're only allowed 2 domestic loans. So we need some of our own players ready to play when we get there. So we've got to develop Dixon, but at the same time, we've got to not get relegated, which at the moment we don't look like we're getting relegated. We're up in 3rd place in the league, which is very pleasant. And Bete has I was going to say expired. He's not dead. He's just tired. We're going to take him off. Liam Delap, that's been really poor from him. So we're going to bring on Ibrahim, and maybe Liam Delap is not a Championship footballer. We saw him struggle on loan at Galatasaray last year. Maybe Liam Delap is just a wonder striker in the lower leagues of English football. And I mean, obviously we'll give him more opportunities as the season goes on. But at the moment, Ibrahim has been looking very lively, and there's no reason to take him out of the team long term just because of the nostalgia of Delap. It's all, I mean, Delap's not even our player anymore. Again, if he was homegrown, if he was, not homegrown, if he was our player, if we hadn't have sold him, there'd be a reason to persist with him and keep him in the team. But then he never would have come out of the team if we hadn't have sold him. So we probably wouldn't have signed Ibrahim in the first place. Forner then plays it forward to Masaba. And now back to Forner again, and Jonjo Shelvey at the base of the midfield again. I love having him there, just spraying those passes around. Maybe there's an argument for playing 2 defensive midfielders. It's a horrible thing. But maybe we put Fauna alongside Shelby, so Fauna can play that little bit deeper and kick people, and Shelby just plays ever so slightly ahead of him, but still deep, so he can sit in this pocket to spray the ball forward. Maybe that will give us that balance that we're looking for to continue being as good as we are going forward, but maybe concede slightly fewer goals. De Gasperi then on the left-hand side plays it into Ibrahim, who's fresh on for Liam Delap, and his shot goes straight at the Coventry goalkeeper, and Tom Edwards is ready to come off, so we'll make our last couple of changes here. We've got Ferguson, who of course we signed in the summer. He can come on to play in that position. We don't have any more defenders on the bench though, so Katongo is just going to have to stick it out, and Fauna is tired, so Thorndyke will come on for him. We'll swap those two over, and that should be enough to see this one out. Fingers crossed. I would be a lot more comfortable if we could grab ourselves a third goal, because the amount of goals we've been conceding lately, I'm never very comfortable when we're only one goal ahead, although we have been winning by the one goal on this little run of form that we're in currently. And we've done it again today, a 2-1 win away against Coventry. Big result, puts us up to third in the league. And now if we can go and beat Burnley, who are really struggling so far this season, we are going to be setting ourselves up for a pretty strong season. The media, I think, still think we're in a relegation battle. They've got us 19th. We don't have any of the star men in this league. You have to scroll a long way to find our best players, which apparently Liam Delap is our best player. You can't hide from the fact that we're on a lovely little unbeaten run, and hopefully it continues for a little while longer yet. So more rotation as we head into the Burnley game then, as we're trying to keep everybody happy. As you can see, we've had to promise Will Dixon game time, so he gets to stay in, but most of the rest of the team has changed around him. The back four, in fact, the back four only has the one change. Flynn coming in at left back with De Gasperi dropping down to the bench. In midfield, Fiorini and Taylor come in for Hamilton and what's his face? Fauna. I can't even, I've taken Fauna off the bench completely. He's moved all the way out of the squad. This is how much rotation we're having to do. He's dropped all the way. I mean, in fact, we'll put him on for Thorndyke. I think we probably would benefit from having him, although Hamilton. Oh, we've got so many players. And then Jones and Betrancourt come in for Delap and whoever played on the left wing in the last game. I can't even remember. Ibrahim and Lambert, who are having to sit things out because of that limit of 5 lone players in the matchday squad. So we've got Taylor, Jones, Betrancourt, De Gasperi and Delap, which means Ibrahim, who's been in incredible form, isn't even on the bench. Lambert, who started the last game, isn't even on the bench. And this is yet more of the balancing act that we're going to have to do this year, working out who the 5 lone players that we want to include in the squad are. We've gone with these 5 today, and we've just got to rotate them around. We don't want any of them getting recalled by their parent clubs when we hit January, so we need to give all 7 of them a reasonable share of game time, or else we risk them getting recalled. So there's going to be plenty of times where the likes of Ibrahim and Lambert don't even make the matchday squad. It also means there'll be times when Liam Delap doesn't even make the matchday squad. And of course, after the disappointing performance from him against Coventry, he doesn't start today. So we get another start for Betrancourt, who has probably played fewer games than any of them apart from Delap. Fewer games than anyone who's been here since the start of the season, because he had that injury early on, and that was very close to making it 1-0 to Burnley. Burnley are rubbish, by the way. They are down in a relegation battle. That's where the media expected us to be. So I guess on that basis, player-wise, they're probably fairly similar to us, would you think? But based on form and current league position, and the fact that we're the home team, you would expect us to be able to pick up a result today. So fingers crossed. But I don't know that I've ever played this combination of front 6 or front 5 before. So who knows? Maybe our run of scoring goals will be coming to an end because I'm fiddling too much. My centre forwards were in number 6 today. That can't be something that can be allowed to continue. Dixon hits the ball aimlessly forward, then chases after it himself. That looked like something out of rugby, but it didn't work. So more proof that rugby is silly. And there is Shelby getting caught out again. That's what we were talking about in the last game. His passing, his distribution, his positioning, it's all lovely. What he hasn't got is the pace to stop that attack. And they've just come straight down the middle of us because Shelby's taken a step forward to join in with the attack. There's Shelby there, just constantly trying to chase the guy back. He's chasing again. He's never actually able to catch up with him, and it's cost us a goal. How many times do I have to see that happen this season before I put Forner there, or Forner alongside him? Or, I mean, you saw in the last game the benefit that Shelvey gives us going forward. That's the internal conflict I've got going on at the moment. Do I sacrifice everything he gives us in the attack to shore us up defensively? And I guess the answer to that question is, for as long as we're winning games, who cares? If we stop winning games, if the goals dry up at the other end, then we probably have to take him out. I guess you consider him a luxury player. Him playing in that role and quarterbacking it is a luxury. And while we're winning, we can carry the luxury because it's nice to watch. As soon as we stop winning, we have to put someone in there who's actually going to stop goals going in at the other end. This is a nice finish from Betrancourt, by the way. Taylor playing it forward. Lovely pass from Kane Taylor. Betrancourt picks the ball up on one foot, takes it onto his other and just dinks it past the goalkeeper. These attackers that we've got. Loans are quite good. Someone should write a song about it, about how good loans are, because they seem quite effective. We've got all these attackers. We can just rotate them in at will. As soon as one's not scoring, you bring another one in, and they're just really handy. Even Ricky J. Jones is scoring loads of goals, which is nice to see. But it's 1-1 with 35 minutes or so left in this game. We need to keep an eye on Kane Taylor. He can't play the full 90 today. So we are going to take him off probably on the hour mark as part of his rehabilitation from injury. And Burnley are in again. And there was a suspicion of offside there, ref. Are we delaying that one? We are. We're delaying it. That's what we call disallowing now. Yeah. Way offside. Basically, he should be booked for cheating. He was so far offside. Right. Let's take off Taylor. And we're going to bring... I now see why we had Thorndike on the bench before. Because we don't really have... I guess Fiorini can play in the Mazzala role. But we'll do that for now. There is the temptation to stick Forner next to Shelvey. While you lot are watching, shall we do it and see what it looks like? So if we put Forner there as that, and then Shelvey can go a little bit further forward, and then Fiorini can just be a box-to-box just there. So we could do that, which is ever so slightly more defensive. That might be what we need. We might need to go ever so slightly more defensive to, you know, stop conceding all the goals that we're conceding. Right, let's just shuffle everything around in that defence as well, and then see what this looks like. I mean, we've gone more defensive when we're chasing for a goal, which is probably not the best plan I've ever had, but I just want to see how it looks in the match engine. Shelvey's now tired, so we probably need to take Shelvey off, which doesn't really work, does it? This bench is very unbalanced today. Right, Ricky J. Jones can come off for Masaba, and we'll get him on, and then I think we probably need to throw Liam Delap on. So Delap can come on for Dixon, and let's see if Delap can re-announce himself at Manchester City with an important winning goal. That's what we're looking for from him today, whilst we're keeping an eye on what Forner and Shelvey are up to. So they've actually both pushed quite far forward there, almost up alongside Fiorini, which I'm not sure that's the goal of what I was trying to do. I don't want them both up alongside. That's where I want them a little bit deeper. So Shelvey still able to get into that little pocket, but Forner is there with him to kick opposition players. I might have to experiment a little bit with this off camera, decide if it works. Di Gasperi plays it in to Betrancourt. Delap's in the middle. Can he find him? There's Liam Delap. He can't convert. Oh, I'm going to be so sad if Liam Delap doesn't make it in this second spell at Manchester City, because we love him. But I mean, we've got to give him time. But how much time can we give him when we've got so much other attacking talent around the place? It's a tricky one. There's thinking to be done and decisions to be made. This is a Manchester City team where I'm a long way from knowing what my best 11 is at the moment. But the fact that we're still in the top half of the table when I'm fiddling around trying to work out what my best team is, that's got to be a positive thing, hasn't it? So we'll go another half dozen or so games forward. I'll figure some things out and we'll be back somewhere around here in tomorrow's episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.